too hot over here. There's beauty in the chaos. Welcome back to today's video, guys. If you're new here, my name's Laura. I make motherhood and lifestyle content. I'm a mom to 2 kids. I have a 2-year-old son and a almost 4-month-old daughter. Don't forget to subscribe down below if you haven't done that yet. I will be taking you guys with me throughout the week. Next week, Kyle starts school again and the school year begins. This week, he's actually at his classroom right now, setting it up for open house. Open house is on Wednesday, so he basically needs to have everything ready and presentable for the parents by Wednesday. So he's there today. What am I trying to do? Hair. I want to do hair. I swear, doing my hair is like the worst part of my morning routine because some days it cooperates, other days it doesn't. I dread doing my hair. Anyways, moving on from the hair, you might be able to hear my voice that I kind of sound congested, and that's because my whole family got sick last week, and I would say we were all like on the tail end of it, but like it spread like wildfire. It just went from person to person to person, and Ellery got sick for the first time. She experienced the same cold we all did. It is heartbreaking seeing my kids sick, and it's like double the heartbreak because you see both your kids struggling to breathe, like just sounding awful, and it was so heartbreaking. And I'm excited to be 100% healthy again. Like, being sick is a reminder to not take your healthy days for granted. I honestly have been struggling in this toddler stage. Let's be honest. I'm going nuts over here. Like, the mood swings happening on a day-to-day basis is just getting overwhelming. Okay, y'all, my hair's not working out. It's like one of those weird days where my hair isn't too dirty. The mood swings on a day-to-day basis is becoming a lot. I'll just put it that way. It's becoming a lot. And Kyle and I were talking last night because I was kind of telling him, like, I'm not doing too hot over here. Like, I am really struggling in this toddler stage. Like, I'm struggling to be patient. I'm struggling to use kind words. I'm struggling to manage like my emotions and how I feel in the moment. Like, I get so heated so fast now. It's happened so frequently, and I'm just so done. You guys, I know I need to do a lot of praying over here, okay? I know that. I'm well aware of that. Like, everyone tells you the terrible twos and stuff like that, but I mean, unless you live through it, you never truly understand the terrible twos. And part of me wonders that the fact that we call it the terrible twos, if we're like speaking that into existence. You know how like there's power in our tongue? Are we speaking this behavior into existence? I've had to constantly remind myself on a daily basis, like, he's learning to manage his emotions. He's learning. I can't expect him to know how to manage emotions in the moment. I need to be the one to teach him. Like, I cannot be the one to completely lose it. And there have been some days where I just completely lost it. And I think yesterday was one of those days. Part of it was because I was feeling like crud, but also another part of it was the fact that I was just dealing with a lot of emotions in that day, and it was becoming overwhelming. Yesterday I was starting to get to the point where I was snapping at Kyle, and usually at that point I know that I need to really get out of the mood that I'm in, because he'll do literally nothing and I'll get mad for whatever reason. But yesterday I was like, after Ellery goes down for a nap, like, you go grocery shopping and like be kid-free type thing. That's what I did. And then also during that time I just listened to worship music, because that's also very stress relieving for me, is just to like listen to music and just really meditate on the words of the songs that I'm listening to. And I felt really good. Like, I felt better, and I just think I needed that. Like, I just needed to get away from the chaos for a little bit. I entered back into the chaos with more clarity and more of a clearer mind. It wasn't so fuzzy and like frazzled and overwhelmed. But there's beauty in the chaos. Like, there's so much beauty in the chaos, and that is the positive outlook on that. I don't ever want to put motherhood in a negative light ever. I never want to do that. But that doesn't mean there aren't struggles in motherhood and that there aren't bad moments in motherhood, because there are, but majority of the moments of motherhood are wonderful and beautiful. But those bad days are not the definition of motherhood at all. Like the good days are. That's what you remember the most, right? Are the good days. And when you have the bad days, it's a reminder to be grateful for the good days. My hair is done. I think I'm going to rock this granny look today. What's this? Shirt. And what's this? Pants. Good job. What's this? Socks. Good. High five. Good job. Thank you. Good job. Girly girl is up after like an hour nap, which is not long for her first nap. Ellery has been in her slobber era. She will completely soak the front of her onesie if I do not put a drool bib on her. Something about being sick, especially for babies, is that their sleep is definitely interrupted with like not being able to breathe and just feeling congested. Like think of yourself and how hard it is to sleep when you're sick. And you gotta think like babies go through the same thing. And so for the past week, I would say her naps have not been good. They've been very, very short. Yes. Which is not normal for her. She is very much like a solid napper. She will nap for 2 hours straight, 3 hours straight, depending on the day. Lately, like this past week since being sick, she's napped an hour tops, sometimes not even that. And so that's been really hard, especially on her. Like she thrives off of a really good nap. And I don't know if part of it is because she's not feeling good and having a hard time breathing, or if she's going through a sleep regression, because there is that 4-month sleep regression and she's almost 4 months. Maybe it's a little bit of both. I have been putting her down for naps based off of her tiredness cues, and that's how I've been doing it. I have not done it by like certain times, like I was with Caspian. Like with Caspian, he was a routine napper. I knew like once 9 a.m. arrived, he was ready for his first nap. And then he was like up before noon. And then by like 1 p.m., 2 p.m., he was ready for his second nap. And then like so on and so forth. But with her, I do not go by times at all. I go by cues. And I've noticed that she is a way more flexible baby. In terms of like when we are off our routine, she's really flexible. There's pros and cons to both, because I loved like the predictability of Caspian's nap schedule, being that he was like very much like at this time we do this, at this time we do that, at this time we do that. I love the flexibility of her nap schedule, which is just cues and not times. And so like I said, there's just pros and cons to both, and I've experienced both. I think like routine nap times is seriously a firstborn thing. I know a lot of moms who like kind of ditch the routine times for naps by their second and third kid, and it just really is such a firstborn thing, because when you're a stay-at-home mom to just one kid, like that is your time. That is where you dedicate all your time, and you really just put yourself into that. While as with 2 kids, you can't just dedicate all your time to one child. You have to divide it. It's been really nice this time around, being a second-time mom, being more of a confident mom, not being so bound by routine. I definitely felt that way with my first. Like I was so strict with his routine that I wouldn't leave the house at certain times of the day. I would plan everything around his nap. I just have a lot more freedom this time around than last time, not being so bound to a routine. But like I said, I think a lot of first-time moms go through that like strict routine with their first, and then kind of it's out the window with their second. It's part of the motherhood journey. You get more comfortable the more kids you have, because you're confident. It's like you've done this before and you know how to handle situations a lot better. And that's why, like I mentioned earlier about kind of struggling in that toddler stage, it's because I've never experienced it before. Like, I'm experiencing that for the first time, and I'm learning how to handle things for the first time. And so I know when she's a toddler, I'm going to be more equipped than I was with my first. It gives me a lot of confidence for the future that even though I'm finding I'm struggling right now with the toddler stage, I know when she's a toddler, I won't struggle as much because I will have gone through it. I will know how to handle things, and I'll know how to handle even my own emotions because I'm going through it all right now, and I'm learning it all right now. I feel so bad for my firstborn sometimes because like he experiences all of my mistakes. And like there's been a lot of times where I've had to apologize to him. And it's not his fault that I made the mistake. Like it's literally my own fault. I just didn't know how to handle something, and I handled it the wrong way, and I realized after the fact, and so I make it right, and next time it happens I know not to do that.
Everything beautiful in time. You make everything beautiful in time.
Happy Wednesday, guys. Well, both my kids are still sleeping. I wanted to bring you up to speed as to what has happened so far this week. I have not been really good with picking up the camera. Like yesterday, which was Tuesday, I got like a little snippet of what my Tuesday looked like yesterday, which was so busy, but like a good busy. Yesterday was my little sister's 19th birthday, which is just crazy. I remember going to the hospital when she was born and holding her. Like I vividly remember it. I remember going in, like being so excited that I'm now a big sister, and then eating McDonald's. Anyways, yesterday was her 19th birthday, and I actually have a 18th birthday surprise that we did for her last year. I have a whole video on that. I'll link that above. Be sure to check that out from last year. It was a great surprise. She had no idea, but yesterday obviously was a lot more low-key. We did a sisters shopping and coffee day, which is exactly what she wanted, which if you're new here, I have two sisters. I'm the middle one. I have an older one and then a younger one, and all three of us went in. We went thrift shopping, we went out for coffee, like all the woman things we did, and it was a lot of fun. It was fun celebrating her. Sisters are just so special. Like if you have a sister, you probably understand what I'm talking about. Like it's so fun going shopping with them, having like juicy conversations over coffee. There's nothing quite like that sister relationship. Today actually is Kyle's like first work day back. So he doesn't have students today, but he had to be at school at 8 a.m. like a normal work day, and he's got like what do they call it? It's not PA, is it? I don't know, like teacher stuff. And then also like he's got to prepare his classroom for open house tonight. So he's got a long day. He's going to be at the school from like 8 a.m. and he's not going to be able to leave until 6 p.m. It's my first like solo day in 3 months. This is Kyle's first day back to work, but it also feels like my first day back to work too. I've definitely gotten used to having Kyle home and having his help, but it's time for like a little reset back to stay-at-home mom life where my husband's not home all day, he's at work, he's providing, and I am here at the house with both kids by myself and like doing my everyday things on top of that, and just kind of getting back into the swing of things with that. I will say though that once school starts back up, and this happens every year, I feel like we finally get back onto a routine. Summer is just so hard to keep a routine because it's summer, you're on summer break, like you're not waking up early, you're not going to bed early, like you are just kind of living life within those summer months. And then obviously being a teacher, once you start work again and you go back to school, like routines have to happen because you are now going to work every day. That is the positive with going back to school. Routines will happen again and we'll be more solid with our routine. Both kids are napping, so I am making a reel to post for tomorrow. You'll probably have already seen it. But tomorrow is our like 1 year anniversary of finding out about Ellery. August 15th of last year, I took that very life-altering pregnancy test. And so I just kind of wanted to put something quickly together to celebrate that. And I have the video of me finding out about her. I can link that in the cards. I seem probably very chill, and it's because she was planned. And there was, the surprise factor wasn't really there because we were planning to have a child. And so my reaction might be very anticlimactic, but I'm going to quickly get this reel done. I'll link it if you want to check it out. It's actually fun to look back to like the moment I found out, our gender reveal. I have some belly movement in there when I was pregnant with her. I have some footage of when I gave birth to her, some unseen footage. No one outside my family has ever seen this footage, so that's exciting. Nothing graphic, I promise. I would never put anything immodest or inappropriate on the internet. Some more hospital shots, and then just Ellery growing. And she's just, like, she's almost rolling over. And, like, last year I found out about her. And it just, it's just beautiful. It's so beautiful. You guys, I have been the worst at picking up this camera. I am so sorry. I'm so glad that this is a week of my life, so my video is not incredibly short. It is already the afternoon. We had kind of a slower morning. Kyle had work again today. He doesn't tomorrow, which is really nice. We're gonna go probably out as a family tomorrow, like grab some things that we need, some things that he needs for his classroom. Exactly 1 year ago today, we found out that we were pregnant with Ellery. Life is a miracle. It's just amazing. I've said it before, I think I even mentioned it in my testimony video, that pregnancy has always just revealed God in a way that I just haven't seen him before. And it's just like the life growing within you and how everything works out as it should, and the detail and just everything about growing life shows God in such a mighty way. Both times I've been pregnant, I've drawn closer to the Lord through it because I just see how faithful he is and how detailed he is and loving, and just also just like the kind of creator he is, you know? And so pregnancy just does that for me. And since we're on the faith topic, I have been reading out of Judges. I actually completed it yesterday. There's a story in Judges. It's in Judges 19, and it's about a Levite's concubine. And the story was so incredibly disturbing. It just has really bothered me, the story, because it's true and it happened. I'm going to try to quickly recap the story, but you can definitely read it for yourself, and there's commentaries out there that I also read through to kind of give me a better understanding. Basically what happened was a concubine was married to a man who probably didn't treat her too well. They had lodged at a man's house, and these gang, like a big gang, came and they wanted to have relations with the men in the house, but they were like, no, not us, take the women in the house. And so they were given the women, like, how, I'm sorry, but like how weak of a man, you know, to like not protect the women in the house like they should have, but so weak. And so they gave off their women and these women, and it was so, this concubine was so abused, she died from it. And the Levite, her husband, took her body and divided it into pieces and sent it out throughout Israel to basically send a message. And it was the start of a war in Israel. It shows you how far man can go without God. Like, man without God, how evil, like truly, truly evil. You'd like never think that that could actually happen to another person, but the thing is it does happen, and it has happened. And all I know is that I'm grateful to be a Christian. I'm grateful to have a relationship with the Lord, because I know that I'm also capable of those things without God. Sorry to share such a like horrible story, but like there is a lesson out of it and there's a message out of it, and that is we need God, because without God we are truly so evil and we can do just unspeakable things.
Standing on faith, there's nothing that you don't know. for tomorrow. I know you're in control. So I'm breathing in, I'm letting go, ready for you to move. The ground is open, new life is breaking through. The ground is open, new life is breaking through.
I had mentioned in my last video that I was wanting to get some shower hooks for the bow holder. That happened today, so I'm going to see if it works. They were only $1, which is like not bad. This is what it looks like. It fits all the bows. I try to go by like rainbow order. It's very satisfying. It is now the end of the week, therefore the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye, friends.